Okay.
All right, that's always a very dramatic start to the meeting, I think. I keep,
Yeah.
and we're in Cape Canaveral, looking at.
Launching the missile. Well, I'll call to order the Environmental Advisory Council Committee meeting on this auspicious day, December 1st, which is the climatological first day of winter. So prepare yourself. It's coming. All right, first order of business is approving the November 3rd meeting minutes. And we've got 4.
You got Kevin now.
Yeah, we have 5.
Okay, now we got 5. Oh, boy. So, has everybody looked at it and made any necessary edits?
Yeah, I looked at it and I've made some edits that have been incorporated in it, and I think you did as well, Alan, but
Right.
the copy I'm looking at now is fine with me, and if no one else has any, additions, I would put, forth that we accept these minutes from the November 3rd, 2022 meeting.
All right. Do we have a
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
All right,
All right.
All right, I will send them on to Katie for posting. All right, item 2, recycling. We got a number of subtopics on that. The first, it would be nice to have Matt on board. Is Matt here?
Not yet.
No Matt, so why don't we wait, because it's really his topic.
We'll table that and maybe he'll get on later.
Yeah, come back to it. All right, the next styrofoam, cork, battery, prescription bottle collection. Is everybody okay with the 14th of January? Because
what day is that? That's a Saturday again, right?
yeah, Saturday, always Saturday. Okay,
That's fine with me.
better with me. Okay,
Why'd you guys move it from the 7th?
because I was going to have trouble with the 7th. My son has a birthday, and I will get grief. Let me tell you, grief.
Totally. And listen, Alan, birthdays, I thought when you said December 1st, it's the official end to the month-long celebration of Suzanne, but no. Is there, because I know people store their stuff from the holidays, and I'm just afraid that if we move it out another week, possibly people choose other alternatives. So, but you are the engine that drives it. So if nobody else can be that engine, then I'm good with the 14th. And remember, I won't be a liaison next year, so do the 14th. But
Yeah, but you can help. Yeah, we had it on the 14th another time, I think in 2018. So we've done this before.
okay,
Yeah, I don't think a week later is going to be a big deal, but if you start getting 2 or 3 weeks, then people get tired of just, holding on.
Yeah, piling
Yeah.
up.
Get rid of it.
Right. All right, so I'm going to print out some flyers. If anybody wants one, I can send them to you. I
Yeah,
will
send
post
one to
them.
me so I can put it out with newsletter.
Yeah. And Matt will help you with the newsletter if you need help, Paul. He's
All right.
some skills in that. All right, so I'll put out some flyers in a couple weeks at the usual locations. And Suzanne, can you have James mention it in the community announcements at the beginning?
Yep.
Okay.
I know, Sonia likes you guys to send her the flyer so she can post it on different Facebook pages, so.
Facebook, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. I'll send it to both.
Yeah,
her
just
and
send it.
Paul.
Yeah, send it around, regardless.
All right. It is a beautiful flyer.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, I'll send it out to everybody.
All right.
And Kevin, you're good with the batteries still? Kevin's on here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's on it.
Okay, and I assume you's not here, but I assume she still wants prescription bottles. And I still want the
I'm here.
Okay, you're here?
Oh, she's
All right.
here. All right.
So you good with prescription bottles?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get them. I'm on the flyer. All right, so that's it. Now we've got recycling in the LMT schools. Is there any feedback from people on those committees?
No,
No, they just haven't met. Is that
no one's met.
okay?
least- The one I'm on hasn't met. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I guess none of them met. And now we need Matt again, unless Gene, you want to talk about this 2023 EAC recycling guide?
No, I would like to wait for Matt.
Matt, yeah, he's been the main driver.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive guide. I have a copy of it right here too. And,
And
you
it's,
know, and Matt, I think, was the main driver on this. So I think it's best we wait for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we envision it as something like the Bucks County recycling guide, but it would be more local, places near LMT that you could bring hard to recycle items to. So that's the plan, sometime in 2023, get it out. And I was just curious, the carry in, carry out of the parks, didn't it have to go before the supervisors to get their buy off? And,
But it has not been before the supervisor.
okay, so it hasn't, that's okay, so
I-
Monica's gonna do that.
Alan, I think the whole plan really has to go before the supervisors. And
But I think so, so the deal is, I think Monica's got to get it through her board first
right,
Okay,
and get their buy-in. And then she will bring it in front of the supervisors.
yeah, that's my understanding of what's going to happen. So, and carry in and carry out is not the whole plan, obviously, it's just
Mhm.
a feature of the plan.
okay, so until Matt joins us, we'll move on. And then if he does, we'll go back to recycling. Number 3, proposed LMT ordinance revisions. At our last meeting, Jim Majewski went over a proposed change to the zoning ordinance that would require land or residential development in R1, R2, R3 zoned areas, which are all residentially zoned areas. They'd have to set aside 25% of the land as open space. And we heard the talk and we sent in comments on November 10th on the proposal, what he had down. And we're very much in favor of it. It's a great concept. But we had, some more detail we thought should be added as far as ownership of the open space, whether conservation easements could be placed on it, and make sure we don't allow denser housing in these areas. We want the same amount of houses on that property as currently allowed. We don't want it to increase.
Yeah, that was,
So that's two different things. And
Yeah.
it will by definition have more dense because it will limit the buildable areas.
Right.
If somebody owns
It'll be more dense, I agree. But
okay,
the overall area, it should be the
Correct.
same.
correct, yeah, that's
Right.
So
the,
that's what,
yeah, this was one of the issues that, initially I took exception with because I think the clustering and the 25% open space is an excellent idea. But if the property yielded, just to pick a number, 100 houses without any of this going on, it should not be able to exceed 100 houses after the cluster.
after,
Anything else is, as
right.
any environmental restrictions are concerned.
So I sent our comments to Jim Majewski and the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission talked about it at their November 14th meeting and raised some of the same issues we did. And so Jim Majewski is going to rewrite it based on our comments, the Planning Commission's comments, and he's waiting for the Bucks County Planning Commission comments, which he might already have by now. But there'll be another revision out, which we'll get a chance to look at in the near future, I would assume. I think this is kind of on a fast track, which is good. That's fine. So we'll see.
Yeah, but Alan, this does not include farmland preservation, if I'm correct.
Oh, that's-
And I
that's a
think this is
different-
something we should probably look at as well to see if there's something creative that can be done there as well.
Mhm. All right, well, we could suggest that to Jim. I could take a look at it, see if I see anything. But that's the update on the zoning ordinance change. And anything, Linda, on the invasive
No.
species? What is it?
I haven't had time to meet with him. I have to figure out a good time that I can get myself over to the township.
Okay. All right. Moving on to number 4, future tree planting locations. And we got a few things there. The Patterson Farm, Mirror Lake Road plantings. Jim, we're hoping to do that in the spring. That's
Yeah, I think, I guess we couldn't get enough movement on that this fall, and we did get, the Kids Kingdom. So I think, more realistically, certainly, I think this coming spring is a better time. And I've also checked on some availability, and I think we have some really nice choices in that too. Another tree that came to light is a sugar maple called Commemoration that grows actually quite a bit faster than the average red maple, which is, something that we'd like to see there. And the fall color is absolutely nothing short of amazing. So these are the kind of things in, let's say, late winter, we can start talking about, and then check with some of the nurseries. I know Fernbrook has supplied a lot of these trees in the past, but there's other avenues as well. But they seem to have some, nice stock, and they have some of these trees available. And I think we need a little more, before we put these trees in, a little more precise measurements to make sure that, the spacing is going to be adequate, especially from the roadway, what have you, because there is kind of a swale and some piping along there, I think. But anyway, I'm really excited about this project. I think it's going to be a real hallmark for the township if we, in fact, can get this done, in the springtime. So anyway, those are my.
This will be a contractor implemented project?
Yeah, I think so, because when you're dealing with 2.5 to 3 inch caliber trees, these things are really heavy.
Okay.
I think that's beyond the scope of any volunteers.
Well, the other alternative is township staff, so.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, if the township staff, if there's availability, I mean, that's always the way to go. But, we have 6, I think, maintenance people. My personal opinion is that I know a lot of the maintenance people from having worked with them over the years. And I think they're, without a doubt, every single one of them, they're really excellent employees. My personal opinion is that for a township like Lower Makefield Township, I don't think we have enough people. And I think we need more people in the long run. And when we do, projects like this would be a lot easier to comprehend. I mean, you're talking about putting 30 or 40 trees in and of 2.5 to 3 inch caliper. And this is a lot of work. But of course, if our people can do it, that's the best way to go, I think.
I was just trying to respond to Sylvia's question, which asked if it would be private contractors, and trying to indicate that that decision hasn't been made yet. It might be private, it might be township staff.
Oh, okay. But then I just wanted to bring up the point that we discuss every time, whether spring planting is viable in terms of survival rate versus a fall planting, because it's a given, at least at the moment, that we don't have the wherewithal staff to do the maintenance over summer.
Well, you look to bullet 3, the Lions Club has offered to volunteer for tree plantings and other things such as watering, he said in the email. So
Yeah,
maybe we could get the Lions Club.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, but then that has to be tied in. They have to be included in the, I guess, planning process, so that we know whether they can make commitment to this particular planting or not.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think you guys have, as Jim said, early or later winter to work on this. And the only thing I would also throw out there is when originally discussed, there was work closer to the creek that you guys had wanted to look at as well. I don't know if that's an opportunity for volunteer or not, but since we're at this pause, maybe it's a chance to look at that whole area of land more holistically to see what would be the best thing to try to get accomplished.
So I think the thought was the 37 or however many maples was going to be bigger trees and not a volunteer project, and all of the rest of the infill to the creek would be volunteer. But I don't know if this project will get superseded by the trail project
For volunteerism.
for volunteerism. Because I think, I mean, you can let me know, I would think that they want would you guys rather have the trail planted in the fall?
You mean the community park trail? that
Yes.
Goes up, okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to, you guys will, whoever your liaison is next year, I think this is a perfectly legitimate thing to talk to them about, right? We obviously want to do whatever makes the most sense for successful planting and don't overtax the volunteers. I personally would love to be finished with Patterson Farm, right? You know, just, I said it to you when I first joined you in 2019, like, it's going to be fabulous that you can, and members of the community can say, look what we did, look what we got done. And to have that done, I think would be just wonderful, but that's just me.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care which one gets done. I don't know if this ends up being a township board. They're going to pick what they want done first.
Well, I have a question though about the community trail. Now, the people who put in the walkway actually cut down quite a few trees. Now, whose responsibility? I think, doesn't the contractor have to replace a lot of those? Or is that going to be the responsibility of Lower Makefield?
I think they were probably told to cut them down.
Yeah, I would think that's going to be.
Yeah, it was all, it was all done. I mean, and I know it's been addressed, so I can't quote you the answer, but it'll be taken care of.
Yeah.
All right, Suzanne, are you saying then that those trees that were cut down will be replaced?
What I'm saying is I can't quote you what was discussed, but everybody knows and it's going to be taken care of. So.
All right, that's good enough for me.
So Jim, on the Mirror Lake Patterson Farm planning, is Jim Majewski your main contact? Who's our main contact at the township on this?
Well, I think it should be Jim Majewski because.
It shouldn't be Jim.
No?
No.
Suzanne, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the stumble that we had, right? That's not parkland, right? That's public work land.
Right.
And that's now Derek.
Okay.
So I think Derek Fuller, he's the new head of Public Works. He's been with us since I think like August or such. So just like in the past, we coordinated with Greg. Now it would be Derek. And when Derek has to reach out to Jim for, hey, what are the swales? What are the pipes or whatever, then he would help coordinate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I had forgotten all about the fact that we have replaced, Greg. So obviously Derek is the person we're going to work through. And as you mentioned, if there are any other issues, he can certainly check with Jim, who I'm sure will be very helpful.
Yeah, we should go by and talk to him sometime, Jim.
That's my plan. Actually, I had a call into him and then I didn't. He followed it up and then I had knee surgery and then somehow that was the end of the call. But I'm going to get back to him shortly just to introduce myself and maybe just talk briefly about some of these projects that we're working on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right.
How's the healing going, Jim? How's the healing going?
The healing is a lot. My PT says I'm ahead of the curve. I feel I'm behind the curve because knee surgery, you measure in inches and I want it measured in feet. The bottom line is it's going okay, but I'm not a great patient, okay?
I'm shocked.
He's talking about feet, I'm talking about knees, I'm so confused.
Yeah, everything, yeah.
But
Yeah.
All right, Suzanne asked us to come up with some additional locations for tree planting. I sent out a document along with the agenda that kind of updated where we were at with the long-range tree planting plan that came out in 2016, which ones had been done and which ones still needed to be done. And at the end of that, I put the planning we just talked about at Patterson Farm along Mirror Lake Road as an additional one. And then I came up with another one that's along Dorlington and Woodside Road. Hopefully you could read that figure, because there is a bike trail right along the road there. So it would kind of provide shade for that. And I think it would look nice. So that's another possibility, Suzanne.
Yeah, I took a good look at that as well, Alan, and especially it's basically a continuation of this beautiful row of sycamores that was put in years ago. I don't know how long ago, but they're pretty decent sized trees now. And there's a path there, and it's an ideal walking path and biking path. So if we could continue that on the other side, I think it would be real ideal, for the people who live in that area. And also from an aesthetic viewpoint, it would break up the monotony of looking at that, field. And I think it would,
Farm fields?
I think it would definitely add to the quality of life in the township. So I think that's a good idea.
So hopefully that helps. Suzanne, should we do anything with this, or is it just information?
So, I think, I'm sorry, Alan, that I don't know. Did you put it in writing? Like, are you expecting that I'm writing this down and committing it to some
No.
kind of formal memory?
There's a document. Look at the email I sent out.
Then you guys, right? If that's your recommendation, I think you should formalize it and send it to the whole board. And then we can figure out how, because I think that you have done a great job on picking the priorities. And if we were to say, like, when you send that to the board, they need to just adopt it, right? To say, yes, this is what we're heading towards. But short of that, the ball is going to come right back at you. Hey, Matt. And they're going to ask you, what do you guys think are the priorities? How do we continue to get these moving forward? Does that make sense, Alan?
Okay, well then, right now, this list doesn't have priorities. We could take this and make priorities out of it, yeah.
And because sometimes priority is, hey, we think we could do a small community project and this one hits the right bill, or sometimes you'll ask your liaison, is there any additional funds available? And I'll say, yes, 10,000. And then Linda will say, we can plant this park for that amount of money. So, I don't want you to wed yourself to these are the way we want to get it done, but more like these are the things that we think are important. And then you'll be able to decide how to get them done.
No, I took a long list this morning at a good look at the list, Alan. And I came up with a whole bunch of what I consider to be priorities. So I'll give you and Linda, a talk and a call and discuss those with you. But I think the important item is what Suzanne mentioned. This is not cast in concrete. We got to be flexible with this stuff. If opportunities arise in other areas, I think we have to have the flexibility to jump on those. But I think that we have like a list of 16 items now. And I think the board is, the first thing they're going to ask is, okay, what do we do first and why? So I think that prioritization is very important.
Yeah. Well, some of them are done. It's not all 16. And should we specify which ones we think should be volunteer plannings versus township contractor or township personnel?
Probably, yeah. That would help them.
Okay, well, yeah.
And it may even be a combination, right? You might want some big trees
Yeah.
that have to be done, but yeah, that's probably a good
Yeah,
idea.
okay. All right, so we'll work on that. Hopefully have something by next meeting. All right, and then I mentioned the Lions Club offer. Dan Bornstein, a couple years ago, he was interested in joining the EAC, but I think he became president of the Lions Club before that happened. So I think that took his volunteer time up. But he sent me an email, and I think I sent it on to a number of people that they're interested in helping us with any volunteer efforts we have, which is good to know. So if this spring, if we can use them in some of the tree plantings.
It would help them a lot. They're looking for new ideas of what to get more volunteer involvement. So I think this might just be one of the things that will help them as well.
Hey, guys,
My
think
wife is
bigger.
on the Lions Club, so
Think
Oh.
bigger, right? Because maybe it's not just trees. Maybe there's some other type of plantings or something else that you want to try to engage them in. Because,
Right.
you know, we do, when we can, we do one big planting a year, and it'd be great to have the Lions Club help us. But maybe, you know, there's something.
In all honesty, if we actually do want to move forward with planting the maples toward the area between the maples and the creek over at Patterson Farm, we need to do some invasive species removal. And that would be perfect.
There you go.
All right. Paul, you're in charge of that. Get rid of all those invasive species.
You know how Paul likes to get rid of bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple rows.
I'm
That's
an
the-
expert on that. I'm still fighting it.
I know you are.
Hey, if as long as we keep it out of the courts and we don't need any more controversy, so.
I just like to say bamboo.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind, folks, is that Lions Club raises money too. So you're always going to ask them for money for buying trees and shrubs and stuff.
Well, you can always ask them to buy trees and stuff, but let's not get into how does the Lion Club send the
Yeah.
EAC money to send the township money to, whoa.
They maybe
Well-
can help with the rain barrel distribution that'll happen in
Oh,
5
there's that
months or
too,
whatever.
yeah.
They can stand
Yeah.
in the cold on the 14th and collect styrofoam.
Oh,
There's
we got
that.
that covered. We'll have enough people.
You
Oh,
say
by the way,
that,
how-
Alan.
Yeah, who's gonna be there
I
besides
can be there.
Suzanne?
Dude, I'm gonna have other obligations.
Okay,
Gene and I.
Well, I'm gonna be there.
I'll be there this time.
Okay, anybody else is welcome to come.
Yeah.
We just need 3 people at least. All right.
You're getting good at using that truck too, Alan. As far as I know, you haven't hit it.
Oh, it's an adventure
Don't
every
jinx
time, let
him.
me tell you. I know. All right, so are we done with trees? Anything else?
Yep. Hey,
Okay.
here's Matt.
Hey.
Matt, we're in, yeah.
I got the booster shot and the flu shot yesterday, so today I've been a little bit slow.
Uh-huh,
I personally would not recommend getting 2 of those shots at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Don't believe the commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough.
30 days in between at least, if you can.
Drink
Yeah.
up, get the water flowing, Matt. Get the water.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Drink lots of water, take 2 Tylenol.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Matt, we've gone over the recycling section, but we held off on a couple of them because you're heavily involved.
Mhm.
One of those being the Halloween candy wrapper collection and the
Yeah.
political sign. I don't know if a lot of people know about the political sign.
Yeah, the political sign. Jeannie reached out to us about recycling political signs, and I reached out to another township EAC that does that, and they got back to me. And Alan reached out to the Democratic Party, and they got back to him. So they've been dropping off all of the Democratic Party's been dropping off all their signs at my house, and then it's a lot of signs. I'm gonna separate the plastic from the metal, and we're gonna take the plastic and send it to TerraCycle, and then we're gonna try and recycle the metal at like a scrapyard.
All of my posts went to a scrapyard in Trenton.
Okay,
They take it? That's good.
that's good.
All
to
right.
know.
Well, Matt, if this works well, we can do this again in the primary and then in the general election in the fall.
Yeah.
We'll try and help because, yeah, we can get a system down
Mhm.
because there's been a need for this for a while.
Yeah, I took all my wires over to the metal yard over there on Big Oak Road along the railroad tracks between Lower Makefield and Middletown Township. Didn't get very much, like $5.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to check with you in about 2 weeks, Matt, because I'm going to see Karen Vanderline in
Okay.
2 weeks. And if it's going well, I'm going to let her know that we might be interested in doing this in the primary also.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
We take all signs, people who are listening. So all parties, all signs.
Oh, yeah.
No discrimination here.
Yeah.
All right.
Even libertarians.
Yeah, we just got to get a connection, a contact for the Republicans.
Yeah, I did a Google search, but I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, I don't even know who their chair is right now.
If you reach out to Katie at the township, Matt, they still have meetings at the township once a month. So I'm sure they have a point person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, that's great. You're doing
And
it.
Paul, I didn't get any money for my medal, so $5 or something.
Wow.
Moneymaker.
Well, it was either that or I'd get divorced. So
It was a tough decision. Right. And how'd the candy wrappers go? Did we get very many?
It went pretty well. I think a lot of the workers did it. I don't know how many households did it, but one of them was like, 75% full. So that was pretty good. The other one was probably like 50% full.
Oh,
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we didn't.
I also found one that is free. So next year we could potentially do it for free instead of having to pay for it. Yeah.
We can publicize it some more because this was kind of a last minute thing.
I know that there's something going on with the school district and whether or not it's actually, getting legs under it or not, but maybe that's really somebody to work with, right? Because I will confess to have eaten quite a few candy bars and bringing wrappers to the township.
Okay.
But it would be better if we could reach the kids where they are, right? We know they're eating them during their snack time and stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
hey, we should put one by the tax collector's office because
Yeah.
Zach is always going there eating up all her candy. Zach Rubin.
I think that since COVID, the candy bowl is not a
No,
thing.
dispense with. Never mind.
All right, Matt. And the other thing we thought you might want to chime in on is the EAC 2023 recycling guide.
Yep. Yeah. So I think it's good to have everyday recycling practices that are happening from recycling services, and it's good if you can have like a TerraCycle home, but the TerraCycle home costs like $60 for 3 months. So I thought maybe people could take advantage of all the free recycling programs that we have in town, and there's actually a lot. So I did a little digging and I found a bunch of companies in the Lower Makefield Township that have free recycling programs. Like, for example, Best Buy does electronics, so you can do all of your electronics. And Habitat for Humanity does TVs, so you can drop off your TVs at Habitat for Humanity. And then I also found like stuff online. So there's TerraCycle does free recycling programs online. So for example, like pens or toys, you can collect them in a box, print out a shipping label for free, and then just ship it into TerraCycle. So I think getting awareness to those programs could be really key.
So
with the Habitat for Humanity, is that the Restore over in Middletown?
Yeah,
Langhorne?
I'm blanking on the road. It's the same road as
Lincoln Highway.
The Lincoln Highway. Yeah.
Business Route 1, yeah. They just started that like in July.
Mhm. So you reserve a
Take
date.
Look
and
at
then you
this,
drop it
and
off.
this is very impressive that the work you did on this. A lot of work, and I think we ought to figure out who we want to distribute this to and whether it's okay and it's the form it is in right now, or whether we want to do some edits on it. But I think information like this should be sent out to at least everybody in the township, and maybe even, maybe even go beyond that. Maybe somehow get the county involved with something like this, because I think this kind of information would be useful to literally everybody in
The county has a recycling guide. They already have a recycling guide, but it's for the whole county, and some of the places are really far away. This
I
would
mean,
be,
for this, you can just upload it to the website, and this way people can click the links.
well, if we can get it organized enough, maybe have a table of contents and stuff, we could hand them out at the styrofoam collection, January 14th, to people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Now, what, if any of you all can add anything to the list,
Yes.
our next step is to make it as comprehensive as possible. So, and when you start looking, there are like tons of places out there that are, do recycle. But anyway, before we send it anywhere, we want to make it sure it's comprehensive. And so if you have any ideas, like Kevin, you have some, the batteries and other things, right? Is that Mom's grocery store?
Yeah, they take like batteries, eyeglasses, sneakers, cell phones, those sort of things.
Yeah, so if you could forward that, maybe do you want to everybody to forward them to you, Matt, so you can?
That's fine.
I think Alan brought up a good point about having an index. I think that would be helpful, because you got to page through all this stuff, and it's really super good data. But I think a one-page index would be very, very helpful. Again, nice job on this. It entails a lot of work.
Oh, thanks. Do you want to do the index by alphabet or by like type of good, like household versus kitchen versus like tools or something? I'm thinking like, there's maybe an easier way to break it up.
Well, probably type of good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at Bucks counties.
I don't think alphabetic would work in a
Yeah.
or whatever.
Matt,
Makes more sense.
Matt, Alan and I were talking about having a meeting, the three of us.
Okay.
Comes back in December. Oh my gosh, it's already December. Oh my
All
gosh.
right.
But anyway.
Yeah, we'll figure out a time to meet. Maybe we can meet over at DEP, since you're over there.
Yeah.
And because it is, I think, important that we like, I would think that we would have an item like, say, what's one of the things that's, well, like the batteries, say. There are a number of places that are accepting batteries, so we would need to, I think, the category would be batteries rather than, by individual.
And Kevin, you know a lot about batteries. You might be able to contribute on that issue.
He's coming back.
Kevin,
Sorry,
there you are.
Question about batteries?
Yeah, look at the guide that we sent out and see if the battery part is good, because you know a lot about where to recycle batteries and all that.
I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, you're a battery guy.
You're a battery genius.
All right, so we'll keep working on that, and if we have something ready by January 14th, we'll start handing it out there, and then there's a ton of places we could hand it out, so
Nice.
handy to have.
Good job. Good,
Thanks.
that was a good job.
Thank you.
All right, number 5, land use plans. There's nothing, no new projects submitted and no revisions to projects already being reviewed submitted. So we're done with number 5. And number 6, the Environmental Stewardship Award. I know Jim has things to talk about on that.
Just briefly, we typed up the nomination award form and then sent it out to everybody. The board should have received copies of that, as well as the EAC. And I also talked to Michael Ginder, who's the executive director of the Friends of the Canal, and they were absolutely delighted, about their being chosen for the 2022 Environmental Stewardship Award. And I basically told him the way this generally works is that sometime during the first quarter of the following year, say sometime in February, at a board meeting, the formal presentation takes place. And they, of course, can have as many people as they want, come to that meeting. And I know the board's always been, very supportive of this award. And it's a kind of a happy moment for everybody, too. So instead of people are maybe dissatisfied with the board or the EAC for one thing or another, I think they all come together as far as this award is concerned. And also earlier, I'll be talking to some of the local papers like the Yardley Voice, what have you, to see if they want to maybe do an article on this, like that nice article I did on the EAC, I think about a year or so ago. And also, Paul, I'll be talking to you too. We want to put that in the newsletter as well.
Yep.
So anyway, I think everything is going the way it should, and early next year I'll start coordinating everything to make sure that it's going to work and all happen at the right time. But again, we quite a few volunteers on this in this organization, and they were delighted to be so recognized.
Great. All right, number 7, environmental lecture series. I don't think we have anything planned. We're working on rain barrel education. I don't know, Soumya, anything on that?
No, I think Monica said she will reach out when she was ready to plan it. So I haven't heard back from her, meaning there's no time frame right now.
Yeah.
It's in the pipeline, but not yet in the schedule.
Right. Does she have to get approval from the supervisors to proceed with this, or? I
think she's busy with the other things right now, the recycling stuff and all that. I think it's like it hasn't it hasn't got her attention in terms of the next, whatever she has on her plate right now.
All right.
I don't know about the procedure. I think all that is done because they already got a vendor in place and everything is already set. It's a matter of her ability to schedule it.
All right. So we're just waiting on her. Okay, number 8, the newsletter, webpage, every bit counts. Paul, you're going to send out a newsletter?
Yep.
A couple weeks, a week or two? Yeah, I'll send you the flyer. And as I said before, Matt, I told him you're available to help.
Okay.
Anything if you need.
Yeah, we could send one out before Christmas and then send out a reminder for the styrofoam recycling thing on the 14th.
Right. Try to send it out no later than like the 15th of December. So
Yeah, at the DEP, we created a sustainability guide for Christmas with like best actions. I guess we said the holiday season, not Christmas, but we created a sustainability guide for the holiday season. If you, maybe I can share that with you if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can include some of it in the newsletter.
Jim,
send me a copy.
Okay.
Did you guys read about how a 90-year-old tree has been cut and donated to be decorated at the Rockefeller Center Plaza? I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
Well, they do that every year.
I know.
So, yeah.
There was an article about it. So they do that every year, but I don't know whether it's, yeah, we sort of get used to certain things, and I don't know whether it's good to lose the discomfort.
Mhm. Well, I don't know what we can do about that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Something-
Matt,
Yeah.
I wonder if that sustainability guide if the Yardley Voice would print it.
Huh. Okay.
You mean,
They're,
you don't mean the sustainability, you mean the
no, I do. I mean, what,
recycling guide?
no, what,
New
so,
Jersey.
No, the
DEP.
sustainability for the holidays.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
yeah,
right.
and it's for the holidays, and I probably it's too late, I guess. Because I think it's weeks before that you have to send stuff to them. So it might not,
Yeah.
it might not,
For
might
Christmas,
be too late.
it might be too late for Christmas.
Yeah, I think they just had an issue. They don't publish like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll remember that for next year.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
The Bucks County Herald is also always looking for stuff, so I don't know if you want to reach out to them. but-
Oh,
Yeah, and the
yeah.
Bucks County Beacon as well.
Yeah, I'll be happy. I'll send it to you. Anybody wants to forward it to them, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, if you send it to me, Matt, I'll contact the Herald and maybe a couple of other.
Okay. Yeah, feel free to edit it too, because it doesn't have to be exactly what it is. However you think it's best. If you want to add things or take things out, that's fine.
Okay.
Where is it, Matt? Where is it on the DP website? I've never seen this.
Yeah, it hasn't been sent out yet. It's gonna be a postmaster. So
Okay, let's look for that. Yeah.
yeah, if you remember in Halloween there was a postmaster for sustainability.
Mhm.
I sent that one out through Rebecca or something. I forget, Deborah maybe. I forget her name.
Mhm.
But
All right,
yeah,
so I'll
nice.
look for it in Postmaster.
Okay.
All right, moving on to odds and ends. We've got a few committee reports. The Makefield Park Steering Committee update. I guess you have met on the 14th? I don't know
Yeah.
when it was. Oh, 14th, yeah.
Yeah, basically we just did like a discovery phase. Everything was just about, the planning of the park, how it originally was planned, how it's set up, what the company is going to do, the engineering company that is working on the field redesign and the traffic flow and the lighting. They have a basic strategy of, we'll go in, we'll try and count how many people are using it and what the needs are, and then we'll try and redesign for maximum capacity of the people.
All right. So hopefully you can give the other members our comments that November 5th.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
suggestions.
It's we were like discouraged from giving comments at this point because it's just the discovery or description
Beginning,
phase. And,
right.
yeah, it's the beginning, but there is going to be a point for us to offer our comments up. So I'll hold on to
Okay. When's the next meeting?
that. I think it's in January.
Oh, so it is a slow process. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's one. And now we have the ad hoc property committee update from Kevin.
Yes, so I participated in a meeting in November just to kind of get familiar with the project. I also went through a walkthrough with bidders. They're going out to bid to get a master planning company on board. They basically want to come up with a master plan for the site, to work with the farmers, different tenants, try and figure out what buildings they want to put money into and what buildings would not benefit from an investment. So they're trying to go through the different pros and cons of that. And they asked for input from the EAC as to what we would want to be considered as, some points of interest for the EAC as part of the master plan.
As
So I
far
took
as the
notes
buildings,
about tree planting and invasive species removal. But
What site are we talking about here, Matt?
Patterson
Patterson.
Farms.
Kevin.
Okay.
Not Matt. Oh, Kevin.
yeah, Patterson Farm.
Okay, I'm sorry, right.
So they're more
All right, thank you.
interested, they're not just interested in our comments on the buildings. They're more
Right.
interested in our a comment on the land use.
Yeah, the whole property in general, anything that impacts
Okay,
us.
yeah.
Linda already provided some help regarding trees, what we had in mind in terms of the tree planting we had already done,
Mhm.
and ones in the future that we're looking at. But if there's anything else
Yeah.
that impacts the
Well,
committee.
Do they use Roundup? Because that's not good for the neighbors. I know that. But we could comment on that, herbicide and pesticide use.
Okay.
There was a study done in Patterson. Let's see, it was when Steve Stendaserio was the supervisor. He kind of initiated it. So it's, 12 years old at least. I'll look for that. I'll see if I can find that. Did anybody mention that at your meetings?
No.
They did?
No.
Oh, no? Okay, so I'll look at that because that might be helpful.
Okay.
I'll do
Yeah,
it.
we have we're supposed to be getting bids back next week, I believe. And we have a meeting scheduled for next Thursday. I don't know if we'll get the bids back in time, but if we could get some input for that meeting, that'd be helpful.
Okay, just on various environmental issues.
Yeah, anything that comes to mind that impacts, that touches on EAC.
Okay.
I have a
Okay.
couple of thoughts just from walking through some of the buildings, related to the building, but
Yeah.
that's kind of my area of expertise.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin, for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody has any thoughts, send them to Kevin, and I guess the rest of us too. All right. The always popular year-end review 2022. Linda, you said you're really busy. I'll take a stab at it. And certain people will probably have to contribute the different sections, but I'll try to get it rolling.
Do you need the Word document?
The Word document? The old one? What do
Yeah.
you mean?
I mean,
The
I just
20
use that as the,
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, I got that.
oh, okay.
Yep. You're reading my mind.
Alan, now that you have to carry the styrofoam, et cetera, to Bob's
Bob.
or Ray Bob,
Ray Bob. Yeah.
would you be able to put in 2021 some estimates of tonnage of stuff that you guys, I'm not.
2022.
Well, think about what we did, like how many pounds of batteries Kevin has saved, and how many cubic feet of styrofoam, or just to
Yeah.
help people understand like how important what you guys do is.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, I can figure out the volume of a 15-foot U-Haul truck, because that's what we fill up. And we've had 3 multiplied by 3, so we could come up with a number. Yeah.
Height times length times.
Yeah,
something.
right.
Oh,
boy.
I remember that.
But volume,
Yeah.
but volume is volume liquid? I'm confused now. I'm done.
Yeah. So Sumya, you could maybe give us an estimate of the prescription pill, the number of
Sure.
bottles.
Yeah.
And then Kevin, you could do the top or the batteries, and I can do the corks. I just sent out a box a few weeks
Yeah, and
ago.
like Sumya, when you write it up, because I get a lot of questions when I'm there, like just say, we collected 500 bottles that are going to be repurposed to developing countries to help distribute medicine, whatever. So that, yeah, I think that would be really great.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
where
right,
would that be?
In the year-end review that Alan.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay, yeah. great idea.
And so we're to open discussion. I just have one question. Who has the thumb drive that Lee?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, bring it to the Styrofoam Recycling. You're going to be there on the
Yeah.
14th? Because,
Okay.
yeah, I need to give it to Jim Majewski and he'll put it on the website.
Okay.
I also have an item for open discussion, and I think I speak for everybody in the EAC. I would like to thank Suzanne for being our liaison for the last couple of years. I think you added measurably to what we do, Suzanne. I understand too that you work full-time, and a lot of times you're coming back from work and going to a meeting is probably the last thing in the world you feel like doing. But you've committed the time, and I think that's noteworthy, and we want to thank you for your contribution.
Wow.
Thank you.
It truly
Yeah.
is my honor to be a part of the good work that you guys do, so.
Yeah, I would like to add that I've always been impressed by Suzanne's commitment to be at the meeting, because I find it sometimes very difficult to show up at 6 and meet with other EAC colleagues if we're discussing some other project in development, but she is always there. So I've been always impressed by her diligence in following up everything. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you, Soumya. And just to be clear, because some people say, wait, she wasn't here last month. We've been interviewing new township managers. And we're hopeful that we will have a manager soon, but the meetings for all of them have been conflicting with our last meeting. So when I'm not here, I'm someplace else in the name of the township. So
So you're getting close to a new township manager.
fingers crossed.
All right,
Yay.
good luck.
Yep.
All right, anything else for open discussion?
Oh, yeah, I had an idea. I talked, I think, 2 meetings ago or 1 meeting ago about food recovery, and food waste is a big environmental issue and also a social issue. And I reached out to a group about starting a chapter of their organization in Lower Makefield Township, and they are excited and they want to go ahead and start it with me, and basically like they would help to set up the organization, and then we would recover food from grocery stores or any other type of retailer that needed had excess food. So I just wanted to bring that up. Wonder if anybody's interested, or what you guys think about.
That's wonderful. Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
It's great,
Thanks.
Matt. And bring on the Lions.
Yeah, that would be good.
God, you're always, my goodness, you're just got so many ideas and
Yeah.
you're doing work. That's
I did something.
But that's one of my passions. I mean, food is one of my passions, but I also want to, food waste make me nuts.
Okay. Yeah, it's really just doesn't make sense when economically or socially. So,
Right.
yeah, but I'd like to do something about it. So,
And these people are already doing something about it in other.
yeah, I reached out through Bucks County Opportunity Council, who you introduced me to, and then they reached me out to Roland Harvest, and then she connected me to Sharing Access. So,
Sharing Access, it's called. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad the people at BCOC steered you in a positive direction. I've been involved with that organization, I think over 25 years, and they really do a first-rate job. But again, thanks, for starting something like this, Matt. I think it's very, very important, especially in the times we're living in right now.
Yeah.
Really up against the wall.
Yeah. And then I think I know there's a lot of churches that do this, but I don't know if they recover the food. I think they buy the food. So I just thought, maybe, we could get the Lions involved, like Suzanne said, but also maybe try and get some churches involved to see if we drop off the food there, maybe they can take it out because they already have lists of people who are in need, and they have that data.
Trenton Soup Kitchen will take it.
Yeah, Trenton Soup Kitchen. Yeah.
Interfaith
Yeah.
Alliance will pay. I mean, it all depends on what it is. I'm pretty sure that like Einstein's at the end of the day donates all of their bagels, and there's a woman in the community who helps ensure that they get to different food banks. But
That's good.
Matt, this is great stuff.
Fantastic.
Let's
Yeah.
don't get overwhelmed by the goodness that it could be that we all stole out. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Okay, yeah, good idea, Matt.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? It's 7:01, so yeah.
Wow.
All right, you have a motion to end the meeting?
Yeah, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting of 12/1/22.
I'm just gonna say happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe
Happy
next
holidays.
year
Happy
you'll be
holidays.
back in person meetings. I know usually we have some nauseous
That would be awesome.
time, so I hope you all have a healthy and happy holiday season and enjoys New Year.
Thank you.
All the EAC and you, Suzanne, and all your families, the same thought goes out from us.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, be well, everybody.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right. See you next year.
Yeah.
yeah, well, maybe before then.
Yeah.